Hey guys, so by now I'm pretty sure you've all seen Linus's video with Luke and that random guy that I never remember his name. I think it's Elijah. Uh, yeah, the man baby as I call him. Well, that's fine. Everyone is their own person, and I'm pretty sure that either you have a negative opinion of the video or you have a positive one. I'm not going to do a reaction. I've watched the video. I find reactions to be boring and just childish, okay? Because everyone's going to have a different opinion, and someone's going to crap on your opinion for having that opinion, and it just goes into an endless loop. So let's do it this way. They did a lot of things wrong. They try things and ask questions after instead of just asking the question first, getting the answer properly. They relied on Reddit for advice, which nobody should ever do. And there was a bunch of other inconsistencies and a few bits of information that were incorrect. It is what it is, of course, but you can't really change much about that. Alright. First, I want to go over my current experience with Big Picture in its own session mode, like the Steam Big Picture mode. Now, I did give it a try. Okay, as you saw, Linus's was flickering all over the place. Mine was not. Mine was smooth, and unfortunately, it's almost impossible to record the damn thing because, well, it's GameScope. But, the nice part of the thing is, it was perfectly usable. I had no problems with it whatsoever. And that's because I had this one option enabled that I don't think Bazite has enabled anymore, or doesn't understand that it works now. I believe there's a lot of people that don't understand it. We go in here and we head into interface. Interface. Where the hell are you? Right here? You see this? It's called GPU Accelerated Rendering in Web Views. Now, Big Picture is a web view. It is basically CAF. It's a Chromium application, which means, well, it has no GPU acceleration when Nvidia is being used. For some reason, it's blacklisted, which no longer needs to happen as most of the issues surrounding it have been fixed and been smoothed out. You know what I mean? It's one of those weird oddities where people just don't know how to listen. So I click this. We head into Big Picture mode. It's not running in GameScope, sure, but Do you notice any visual issues or problems? It's the same thing as if I started the session without Hyprland. It would still be like this. That's the crazy part. Times have changed, but the distros haven't caught up to that change yet. Ah, I saw a visual bug, but it was literally minor. This is smooth. This feels like my refresh rate, and I'm happy with it. Gonna do it again? It is not. So if I click here, like, it is 240 hertz, and I love that. I can also Alt-Q out and go back to the desktop. So Big Picture on Nvidia is actually really, really good when it's set up properly, which Linus didn't do and Bazite definitely does not do. I actually had to check that one in a virtual machine. They don't. Okay, plain and simple. So that was not a Linux issue. It was not an Nvidia issue. It was a Bazite issue. Hopefully they'll see this and fix it, or at least attempt to. I doubt it completely. Let's be honest. All right. What other things? Using PopOS. PopOS is not what it used to be. And Linus is correct for exposing the fact that it's a public beta, and it should be on every release. Every patch notes that this is still a public beta. Because let's be honest, having something in beta does not excuse the fact that it's extremely broken and buggy, which Cosmic is. It's a known fact. There are people I know, and even myself, that reported bugs that are years old that have not even been looked at, paid attention to, even remotely attempted to be fixed, and they just sit there rotting away. There's even ones that are over 2 or more years old that you have random users literally commenting, any update? Is it fixed yet? I still have the same issue. Hello? Anybody? Any developer there that cares? System 76, they have a tendency not to focus on the real issues. They want to add all of the features imaginable, and then, I don't know, they don't seem to focus on bug fixes, not as much as they should. And this is, I get it, beta. Beta is no longer an excuse for poorly built software. It's not. It never has been. It never will be. And if you are one of those people that use the word beta as an excuse to excuse ignoring bug reports and issues, you are part of the problem. Because this world is really messed up, and I'm going to be honest with you, it shouldn't be this messed up. Okay? It shouldn't. It should be as simple as, hey, this is a bug. Oh, so it is. I can reproduce it. Let me go and fix it real quick. Hey, is it fixed for you? Yep. All right, closing the issue. Have a great day. They have enough developers that they could technically put people on bug reports, on fixing issues. Or they're a big enough company that they can hire people to focus on such things. Because I do not want Cosmic to end up like KDE, an extremely broken, unstable, bipolar mess. And that's just the way it is currently. Oh man. Should I even bother to break my system by testing 6.7 beta? Nope. No thank you. So, because when I tried the 6.6 beta, it actually destroyed my CachyOS install. It was not pleasant. And then when I tried the final release, it did the same thing. Dealing with KDE these days is like handling a nuclear weapon. You accidentally drop it, well, there goes that section of the planet. Pop! OS used to be a really, really good distro. But unfortunately, the curse of LTS ruined that. And then I want to talk about LTS, because this is probably the biggest one. Long-term service is not a solution that works anymore. It has not worked for years. The last time it worked was in 2009. 09.04 Ubuntu. That is the last time that long-term service worked, because that is the last time that Ubuntu cared about its user base instead of servers. They are focusing now on their infrastructure, they are focusing now on servers, and users are not a focus. If you haven't noticed, you guys have never really been a focus. And it shows with how much they're trying to push AI now. It's not an option. It's not optional. It will be forced. And more stuff. God knows what they're going to do. But they don't care. The Mint developers, you're lucky if they do any work at all. Because again, long-term service means we get to sit on our ass and pretend it's stable. Long-term service has been the most unstable mess imaginable. If you want proper long-term service support, you use the LTS kernel on CachyOS or Fedora or Arch or anything. But trusting it on Mint, which has components that are 5 to 6 years out of date, that's just something I could never imagine doing. My system would literally be vulnerable or not performing at its best because of this. LTS no longer works. And unfortunately, with the way things are going, version numbers also no longer work. Have you noticed there's not an Arch 2? Why? Because Arch 1 still works. You notice how there's not a CachyOS 2? Because CachyOS still works. And at this point, it's not PicoOS 4, it's just PicoOS. Because they don't need to do version numbers anymore. That's the thing. They did before because of Ubuntu's releases, but now that it's just Debian, they can just go with whatever. And it just works, and it's stable long term. Cool, huh? Bleeding Edge is scary. No, it's not. Bleeding Edge is as stable as anything else. Rolling release is terrifying. Not really. Not at all. Because everything now is tested. Like any other distro or even Windows. Now and again something will slip through. But here's the thing. The developers will help walk you through it and fix it. That's how times have changed. We have Discord. We have other means of communication. God knows what. We still have IRC. If you need help, there's places to find it. It's not hard to look. Like with Finley server. You want help, go ahead there and ask. And if I'm available, I'll help you. That's the way that it works. I don't mind. Not at all. So, here's the questions that you should ask when going into Linux. This is how we're going to end the video. Should you use an NTFS drive? Let me just open up my work browser. Yes, I have a work browser. Should, okay, if I could spell, I use, there's a lot of weird things that people ask. NTFS with Proton. What does it tell you? No, you should not use NTFS with Proton. Both Valve and the wider Linux community strongly recommend against storing Proton games libraries on NTFS drives. Why? Well, let's see. File permission issues. Okay, Proton translates Windows API calls to Linux requiring native, whatever the hell that says, file permissions that NTFS simply does not support. Symbolic links won't work. You'll also have to deal with data corruption. And no, this is not going to change with the new NTFS driver. I'm sorry, but NTFS is just not compatible with Proton. It would be redundant to think it does, and to make it work, you will have a massive risk at data corruption. So how can you fix this? Well, you partition the drive. The second partition, you make XFS. Because the load times are better, the performance is better, and you just move the games that you want the most over onto that second partition, and you still have your Windows partition for games. Sure, you have a little less space, but at least you're able to play your games without any major issues or concerns on Linux. It's just like if you ask, should you use Manjaro? The answer is no. Do you know how many problems and issues Manjaro has had in the past? How big of a security concern and risk they are? There's an entire blog dedicated to the problems that come with Manjaro. There's just so many issues. I'm going to do a wider video on this. I'm going to go over this in more detail. I want to start from Windows, and I want to move slowly into Linux, and I want to make a video that will literally just transition the most average end user imaginable. If you guys find that to be a good idea, let me know, because I have an extra NVMe that I can install Windows on, and we can do this. Thank you guys for watching. I understand that my opinions may be controversial or you may not agree with them, but they are built off of years of experience, about 27 years of experience of things that do work and do not work. And not only that, we're talking about support. I have taught many thousands of people how to use Linux in DMs, VC, you name it, even over Skype of all things. I'm not new to this. So you need to understand something. These are real issues. LTS does not work. NTFS should not be used with Proton. And things like Manjaro are just a bad idea. Not only that, but Bazite, really? It comes with a slew of other issues. Hell, those guys, they love to just cause drama and problems for developers that want to work with them. By just, oh, it's a whole other story. You can Google it, but there's another reason I can't touch that distro besides the massive amount of bugs that come with it and the fact that you are locked in and you have to use what they give you and only what they give you. It's not one of those normal distros where you have freedom. It's another reason I don't recommend it. It's another reason I can't touch it. Can you imagine trying to do all this development work and all of this crap on a thing like Bazite? I'd be asking for nothing but pain. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Leave your comments below. But, you know, try to use some common sense. Try to think past your nose. And just have a good day.